Hey, what's up, you guys? If you are new here, hey girl, I'm Desiree. Welcome to my channel. And if you are returning, then welcome back. Okay, so today's video is going to be a cute little get ready with me. Just going to be showing y'all how I got this basic bitch look. And while I do that, I will be telling you a little bit about my experience living in Kansas City. I actually forgot to record my intro, so that is why I'm doing this voiceover. But we're going to keep it cute and move. So if you want to see how I got this cute look and I learned a little bit about KC, then keep on watching. All right, you guys, so we're just going to get right into it. Hope y'all like my little beach house. That's honestly where I wish I was right now. A beach house, okay? Can you relate? And as y'all can see, I am lashed. I have been getting my lashes done. So, and I have been enjoying them. So, and y'all just don't mind my voice. I was sick for like a month. And we still getting it together, okay? But I'm fine. It sounds worse than what it is. I'm fine, okay? So yeah, let's get right into it, this video. And if I look over here, of course we have a mirror. I gotta see myself, okay? But yeah, we're gonna talk about living in Kansas City. Okay, so I believe I moved here between 5 or 6 years ago. I believe it'll be 6 years in September, at the end of September, because I moved here at the end of September in 2017. Moved here from Houston, but I'm not from Houston. But I lived in Houston for a year, and I moved here because my mom moved here, and yeah, I basically just followed her. She got a job here at the local hospital, or one of the local hospitals, and she was leaving Houston, so I followed her. Because I'm not from Houston, so I don't really have family or anything there. So let's talk about the weather. Let's get into the weather first. I feel like that's a big thing for me, is weather, especially like when you're thinking about somewhere to live, or if you're just, interested in places. So the weather here, you get all 4 seasons. You get a summer, a spring, a kind of a spring, a winter, and a fall. So I'm spent most of my life in Savannah, Georgia, which is the South. I was born in New York though, but I was there till I was like 9, so I wasn't there long. And I am just like, since I was in the South the majority of my life, like I can't do the cold, okay? And actually, I take it back. It's not since I spent most of my life in the South. I believe like if I, like, let's say, okay, I was born in New York, and let's say I stayed in New York my whole life, I would still be not a fan of the cold. Like, it don't matter. I could have been in that shit my whole life. I'm still not fucking with it, okay? It's cute for a little bit, you can wear like some nice fashion. I feel like people that can dress in the winter can really like dress. Like you have really good fashion sense if you can dress for the winter. That's how I feel like, and I said what I said, okay? But yeah, like it's cold here and I don't like that. But it's not as bad. Like it's not as bad as New York. For sure. Like hell yeah, it's not as bad as New York. It's not as bad as a lot of places like Chicago. Like you have places that are colder than here. So I'm not gonna sit here and cap and act like, oh, it's just super duper cold, but it does get cold, and it does pretty much stay cold through like April. So if that's not something that you're used to, yeah, because I'm not used to that. I mean, I literally used to live in Houston and Savannah, Georgia, where like it don't really get cold for real. So I mean, of course, global warming and climate change, so they're starting to get a little bit of snow down there, but really it don't be cold for real. So that's one thing. But one thing I will say is the summers are really nice. It does get pretty hot though. It does get pretty hot. Like it be hot as some balls out there sometimes. So yeah, it does get pretty hot, but I will say, me being a girl from the South, used to the heat, it's not hitting the same, okay? Like it's definitely not hitting the same. And I love Y'all, I love the fall here. Like the fall here, so beautiful, so pretty. It feels so good. It don't last too long because like maybe like mid to end November, especially like December, that's when you start entering that danger territory where it starts hitting the 30s and it just stays in the 30s. But I love the fall here. I love the vibe. Like Kansas City, that's one thing I will say. Like Kansas City, there is definitely a vibe here. Like when you come here, you'll get it. Okay, let's get into things to do, starting with like just recreational things. Of course, you got the casino here. So a lot of places don't have casinos, so that's definitely one thing that I will say KC does have is a casino. So if you like to gamble or you just like to, you know, hang out at the casino, like that's a good thing to do here. You have Worlds of Fun here, so that's a theme park that's here. I have not been to Worlds of Fun yet, but I definitely plan on making my way there at some point. And we are in Missouri, so you have St. Louis a couple of hours away. You have like the Ozarks, like you have a couple of lakes nearby, and lakes are always fun. So you can take a trip to a lake and rent out a pontoon and sit on the lake for a day. Me and my family have done that a couple of times. So that's definitely a fun thing to do here. Of course, there's a lot of shopping here. Like you have the plaza area, which is a really nice shopping area. It's outside and it's low-key. It low-key reminds you of like an outlet. In the winter, they light up all the lights on the plaza. So that's like a big thing here. Like they do the lighting at the plaza and they have like people performing. And then you have the sports here to do. That's another thing that you can do here, like the sports, like you can go to like a Chiefs game or a Royals game. They don't really have a basketball team here, but they do hold basketball events at like the T-Mobile Center. So like some of the tournaments that goes around will be there and they'll have games there. So yeah, you can go see a football game, a baseball game, a basketball game here. One thing I will say I do miss is the beach. I think the closest beach is like in Galveston, so that's the only thing that's pretty much lacking is the beach. And then as far as places to eat, of course this is Kansas City, so they're most known for their barbecue. A couple good barbecue places to go to, I would say Jack Stack, Gates. There's another barbecue place, hold on y'all. And also another barbecue place is Arthur Bryant's as well. So I would say top 3, Jack Stack, Gates, Arthur Bryant's. If you're from Kansas City, comment down below if I got that right. But for me, my personal favorite is Jack Stack. Might be because of my boyfriend, because that's his favorite place. So I just inherently eat there, but they have really good barbecue. So the barbecue is good, but outside of the barbecue, you have plenty of restaurants to eat from. I mean, from the chains. And then, of course, you have like a lot of mom and pop places, a lot of good, interesting brunch spots to go to. Like you can hit up the Crossroads. There's a lot of places to eat down there. You can hit up the River Market. There's a lot of good places to eat down there. You also have like the trolley that goes through the downtown area to the River Market, and now they're extending it to the plaza, and the trolley is 100% free. I rode it before, but ever since, you know, the vid, I have not been on it, but it used to be very fun. And if you are about that life, I definitely recommend going on a trolley. Another thing you can also do here, you can go down to the River Market. So they kind of have like a little farmer's market down there every weekend, especially during the summer. I know during the winter, they still have like a couple of vendors like in the covered area. There's like a covered area as well. So they'll have some vendors there, but it really is popping a lot during the summer. So me and my mom used to take the trolley to the River Market and go down there and you know, pick up some vegetables and fruit. They have, you know, it's like it's kind of like a little farmer's market, like a little mini one. And they'll have like fresh vegetables and fruits down there. You know, like as any other farmer's market, it's always super affordable. Like you can get like a big old thing of tomatoes for like $2. So like definitely used to love going down there and picking up some veggies. And then they also have some good brunch spots down there as well in the River Market. One specific spot I will point out is Brown and Low. Me and my family frequent that restaurant. They have really great drinks. That's really why we go. But their food is also pretty good too. Pretty tasty, and they have a decent menu. But if you're looking for some great brunch drinks, I would definitely recommend Brown and Low. If you're more of a foodie person, one place I will recommend is Summit Grill. It is more of like a chain restaurant. So there is a bunch of Summit Grills all over the city, but they have like really good food, y'all. Okay. Order that French toast and come talk to me later, okay? And then of course you have like the places that are technically not in Kansas City, but it's still considered Kansas City, like Overland Park, Lee Summit. There's a lot of restaurants and things to do out there as well. Those are more like the suburb areas. But when you're more in the city, you have like downtown, you have the plaza, you have the river market, and you have those surrounding areas. So it's more suburbs. So there's like a lot of things to do out there, lots of restaurants, probably like a couple of main event places that you can go to. And then of course, like, you have the nightlife. So a couple of areas to name for like the nightlife, I would say like the Crossroads. There's this really good place in the Crossroads called Up Down. If you like arcade games, Up Down is like an arcade for adults. So they have a bunch of arcade games and then like this big old bar in the middle of it, so you can have your beverages or your drinks and then play a bunch of games, and then have like an outside deck. It gets really packed and really lit up in Up Down. There's also another place in the Crossroads called Society. It's a really nice little spot. There's just a lot of places like in the Crossroads you can go to. I've been in like rooftop parties in the Crossroads. There's like a bunch of like different parties and stuff that'll be happening. You definitely, if you live in Kansas City, you have to check out like Eventbrite, and just look for events online, because it may not necessarily be like at like an establishment, but there's definitely parties going on. But if you're feeling more of like a club type vibe, then you have Westport. One thing I will say about Westport, it gets pretty lit down there. So, you know, after a certain time, you know, just make sure you start getting home, because that's one thing I will say about Kansas City. It is one of the most dangerous cities in the U.S. So you definitely have to watch your back out here. I'm not saying like it's nothing like crazy where you be, you know, on the lookout like that, but just know they live here. So, you know, you just stay ready, right? But I stay ready, so I ain't gotta get ready, okay? But that's one downside I will say to Kansas City is the fact that, especially for a lot of Black events, because, you know, I mean, yeah. For us, just know that, yeah, they shoot a lot here. That's one thing I will say, is they shoot a lot here. Like, one good example I have is when I first moved to Kansas City, like 6 years ago now, almost 6 years ago, they used to do every first Friday of the month, and they still kind of have this, but it used to be like every first Friday of the month in the downtown area. They would not shut down, but they would close down a lot of streets, block off pretty much like a nice little patch of the downtown area, and they would have a bunch of food trucks just outside, kind of like a fair like type of vibe. You could just walk around, get some food from the different food trucks. They would have vendors outside, people performing and stuff like that. But then one year, I forgot what year it was, there was a shooting that happened at one of the first Fridays, and this girl actually got, you know, she bit the dust, okay? And apparently they lost like the insurance for it, and so now they don't really do it like that, like big production anymore. They still kind of do it, like they'll have like different restaurants will have First Friday stuff in it. A couple of food trucks might sit outside, but it's definitely not on the same level that it used to be like a couple of years ago, because it was messed up, of course, by somebody shooting randomly in a crowd and somebody losing their life from it, and so now it's not the same anymore. So there's just stuff like that, you know, will kind of grind your gears. It's like, I like going out, I like having a good time, but I also don't want to be ducking and dodging, okay? If you're a person that goes out, don't move to Kansas City. Like, if you like to go out a lot, just don't do it. Oh, and then let me not forget about another area here that's really great on 18th and Vine. That's really like the, I would say, more black area. 18th and Vine has a lot of black history down there. Kansas City has a lot of black history here. Like especially like in sports, like baseball, a lot of black athletes that are from Kansas City. I think even like the first baseball team was here. I went to the museum. There's a museum down on 18th and Vine, the baseball museum, and there's a lot of history in there about just baseball and how it originated, and a lot of the players that pioneered baseball was actually from Kansas City. So lots of good black history here as well. For sure, I would definitely say, as you know, as far as black people here, like there's a good amount of us here. Like you definitely don't feel like an outsider. And I do know, as far as voting specifically for Kansas City, the city in general is pretty blue. So yes, you do experience some kind of racism and microaggressions, but it's not as bad as living like somewhere like Savannah. Okay, so that's the whole spiel on that. Okay, now as far as staying here, now that's another topic for another day. But as far as me staying here, I don't see the desire to stay in Kansas City. I don't have the desire to stay here because there's a lot of pros, but there's also a lot of cons. And then also, like, my family is not from the Midwest, and I'm a family person, so I want to be like near my family, and I have a lot of family on the East Coast, so I'm probably gonna end up back over there. But for the time being, this is good enough. Comment down below if I forgot like any topics or anything that you're interested in, or any kind of questions that may have crossed your mind, or anything I might have omitted that you're interested in knowing. Comment down below and I will respond. Of course, if I get enough comments, I can do another part to this. But yeah, let me know if I forgot anything. I believe I touched on everything that I wanted to, but like I said, I'm human, y'all. Let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of mascara on my bottom lashes. And I'll just put a little bit at the bottom just so they could kind of, you know, be even. I always just like to make sure everything is like blended. Like, so I do go in a couple times with this brush. And, oh fuck, I just sprayed myself dead in my eyeball. All right. First of all, this needs to be sharpened, and I don't think I like that color. Hold on. Okay, and if anybody's interested, this lip combo is this lip pencil from Makeup Forever. It's the Artist Pencil in the color 608 Limitless Brown. And then the lip is this MAC lipstick in the shade You're My Flame. And then I topped it off with the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Tiramisu. Okay, if you're interested. Oh, I redid my braids. I'm sure you guys can tell, but I redid them just because they were so wrecked after my vacation. All right, you guys, so yes, this is the finished look. It was just a quick light beat. I just did something real quick just so we could like kind of chat it up, and just I get into my experience living here in Kansas City. I would say overall it's been a pretty positive experience, other than the cold. Like, I just can't do the snow and the ice and girl, like I just can't do that. But it's been an overall positive experience. I definitely think it's a good place to live. It's not bad. I haven't had any real like gripes with the city. But again, don't forget to comment down below if I forgot any topics or anything, or if you have any questions, or if you'd like me to do another video. But yeah, that is it for this video, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that shit. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.